There's always been something magical about the number 10, and aside from the Ronaldos and Cruyff, nearly every all-time great wore it. But when you mention that number in Argentina, it doesn't come without a fight. You've got Messi on one side and Maradona on the other.
¿Messi o Maradona?
Maradona. Yo amamos mucho Maradona.
Maradona, toda la vida.
Maradona.
Messi, Maradona.
El Diego, siempre. Maradona es más grande.
Same left foot, same low center of gravity, same divine aura with the ball at their feet, and yet, two completely different legacies. To the nostalgic fans, Maradona is untouchable. He dragged a bang-average Argentina to a World Cup and turned Napoli from a mid-table side into champions. He fought his way from the mud streets of Villa Fiorito to global stardom through talent, sweat, and blood. And I get it. The 1986 World Cup is basically a Maradona documentary at this point. But here's the twist. Even with all the talk of his leadership, warrior mentality, and his awe on the pitch, I never saw how he was better than Messi, even before Messi won the World Cup. And I know that won't sit well with some of you, but if you look deeper, the gap is wider than y'all are willing to admit. Let's start with the numbers. Maradona's club career spans roughly 680 games and 345 goals. Messi has just over 1,100 games and more than 865 goals and counting. But it's not just volume, it's the level. Maradona never had a 30-goal season. His best was 23 goals in the 1982-83 campaign, while Messi has managed 50-plus goals in 8 different seasons, even hitting 80 in one of them for both club and country. And don't get me started with the assists. Messi has more assists than most legends have goals and assists combined. He's the only player in history to record 25-plus goals and 25-plus big chances created in a league season. Not once, not twice, but 7 times. The closest anyone came to challenging him in the 2010s was Messi in another year. But I get it. We can't base the whole debate on stats because numbers just tell you what happened, not how it looked or what it felt like. And like Ray Hudson said,
"It's not the statistics, it's not the statistics. You don't measure that by statistics. It's immeasurable."
Which couldn't be more true. The perfect example of this is Zidane, a Ballon d'Or, World Cup and Champions League winner, played mostly as an attacking midfielder, yet he never really scored or assisted as much. In fact, he only managed double digits once in the 92-93 season with 10 league goals, and averaged 15 league goal contributions per season at Real Madrid. Now compare that to Bruno Fernandes, who is among the best midfielders in the Premier League at the moment. Since 2017, he's managed about 24 goal contributions per season, a way higher tally than Zidane, plus he's done that consistently. But no one in their right mind would say Bruno is better than Zidane. You just had to watch them play to know this. Zidane contributed more than just goals. He was an expert at controlling the ball with elite vision and passing, dribbled elegantly with a very high IQ on the pitch. He also showed up in the big moments, scoring in both World Cup and Champions League finals, which explains the eye test because just like Zidane, Maradona's genius wasn't about raw numbers either. Maradona looked chaotic but controlled. He had this rawness about him, like he could explode at any second. His turns were violent. His dribbling was slippery, with a dirty, raw, and untrained style. The goal of the century against England is the perfect example of everything that made Maradona special. Twisting and turning under pressure, dribbling through multiple defenders, then finishing with composure. His creativity and vision, plus that burning desire he had to win, brought joy to everyone and made them love him. Now watch Messi. He is like a ballet dancer in rhythm, with the ball clinging to him like it owes him rent, with elite vision, passing, and very high IQ. His dribbling is highly efficient, doesn't waste possession or make unnecessary touches, easily finds pockets of space where it feels like there is none, and has great link-up play with his teammates, all while being calm, which makes everything he does look easy. Also, Maradona wasn't as versatile as Messi. He was a classic number 10. He could drift wide, drop deep, dictate tempo, but he was mostly a central creative force. Yet Messi has been a winger, a false nine, a playmaker, a deep-lying creator, even a midfielder. Though neither of them really put in slide tackles or tracked back, Messi's off-ball movement is far superior to Maradona's. Diego was more ball to feet. Give it to him and watch him work. While Messi will create a lane, disappear, then pop up in the box unmarked. But again, there was an aggression to Maradona's game. Everything he did had this desperate urgency, like the ball was his last hope, and it probably was. Which isn't the case with Messi. At times, especially in his early years, you'd see him disappear in games where things weren't clicking. But still, when you zoom out, remove nostalgia and bias, Messi passes the eye test far better. He's not as chaotic or theatrical like Maradona, but he is highly efficient. Every movement has purpose, every touch advances play. He rarely wastes possession, and his decision-making in the final third is virtually flawless, and he has done so consistently for 20 years now. Maradona peaked for just about 5 or 6 years, and his decline was rapid. And it's no disrespect to Diego. He played in a more physical era with less protection from referees. The pitches were often poor, the balls were heavier, and tackles that would get you jail time today were just good defending back then. While Messi has benefited from the modern era with better pitches, lighter balls, and more referee protection. However, he's also faced more sophisticated tactical systems, with teams dedicating entire defensive strategies to stopping him. And he has also had his fair share of harsh tackles. At club level, Maradona's career was brilliant but inconsistent. He was a local legend at Argentinos Juniors, but barely known worldwide until his big move. At Napoli is where he undoubtedly had a legendary time. 2 league titles and a UEFA Cup for a team that had never tasted success before was pure greatness from Maradona. But again, Messi surpassed that greatness. From 2004 to 2021, he was the heart of arguably the greatest club side ever assembled, played some of the most beautiful football, and was the most successful period in Barcelona's history. And for those saying he always played in great teams, well, he dragged Inter Miami from bottom of the table to their first 2 trophies in a matter of months and has made them title contenders. That has to count for something. Then there's the World Cup, the one place where Maradona fans always feel safe. Yes, Maradona won it in '86 and Messi didn't until 2022. And that changed everything. Because now Messi has 2 Copas, the Finalissima, and the World Cup. And not just as a passenger, but the best player at every single one. And that's the thing. Maradona had that 1 World Cup run, which was great to be honest. In fact, it must be the greatest individual World Cup performance of all time. He was directly involved in 10 of Argentina's 14 goals, created 27 big chances for his teammates, and put on sublime performances against England and Belgium. However, Messi also won the World Cup and was directly involved in 10 of Argentina's 15 goals, created 21 big chances for his teammates, and also put on sublime performances against the Dutch, Croatia, and France, all while being 35, which brings back my point of his consistency. Because consistency is everything in football. Messi has played at the elite level from 17 to 36 and still going. Every era he entered, he dominated. The Xavi Iniesta era, the MSN Trident, the solo Messi years, and now the Argentina redemption arc. He never stopped reinventing, while Maradona after 1990 never hit those heights again. And it's not just me. Even Ferguson, who watched both play, agrees that Messi's consistency makes him the better player of the 2. And look, Maradona will always be loved. He saved Napoli, he made Argentina dream, and he is definitely top 3 of the greatest players to ever play the game. But for any nostalgic fans out there, Messi is far better than him and has been for years.